So, UFC Fight Night, Max Holloway versus Yair Rodriguez is upon us, and I am very excited, not so much for the card, but for the main event itself. Now, if you look at it purely on a context level, this fight seems so weird that you've got the number one versus the number three, two guys who are phenomenal strikers that are quite happy to take one to give one back. Both are like that, and the odds to have one person at like minus 700 favorite. It seems so weird, but that's what we have here. Max Holloway is fucking animal, and even compared to Yair Rodriguez, who's a fucking animal, he seems, at least, so not setting yourself up for failure, he seems like a fucking demigod in comparison. This matchup is not going to be a war, like Chandler versus Gaethje. Still thinking about that, by the way. It's not going to be a war like that, but it's going to be a very fun fight, I would think. So, to give my official prediction, I'm going to go a shot in the dark with this one. I think it's a really weird choice. I'm going to go Max Holloway to win. And I think it's going to be quite similar to the Calvin Kattar fight. It's not going to be as similar because Yair Rodriguez, well, I hope so as well. He's going to mix up different attacks, so it's not just a boxing match, because that's what Calvin Kattar pretty much brought. He brought punches and elbows, arm strikes, basically, to the table, and he got rushed out of that octagon there. I think Yair will have more success than that, but I think he's going to take an accumulation of punishment and get stopped in the fourth. That's my prediction, my official prediction. And also, because that prediction isn't very bold, I just want to kind of have more thoughts about the matchup and everything itself and what they've been saying. First of all, on Yair Rodriguez's side, one thing that he said that stood out, and I think he's getting a bit clowned on as well for, is that his prediction is that he's going to stop Max Holloway, that he's going to knock him out. And if you're being honest, at first hearing that, it sounds stupid. It sounds so stupid because Holloway, I can only think of one time where he's ever been hurt, and that was against Dustin Poirier in the first round. And guess what? He went the full 25 minutes still. He's never been dropped in his career. He's taken big shots. His chin has been tested, and he's fine. So, to think, oh yeah, I'm just going to knock this dude out, it sounds stupid. But, if you're going on, hey, somebody wants to win, let's look at the paths. You can finish the guy, or you can, like, outpoint him, outskill him. Do you seriously think Yair Rodriguez is going to outskill Max Holloway? I would be so surprised if Yair Rodriguez could be more technical and a more skillful fighter than Max Holloway. That would be ridiculous to me. Max Holloway is one of the most, like, maybe not the complete fighter, because his ground game isn't as strong. It's still fucking strong, but like, he's one of the pound for pound best fighters in the UFC for a reason. Like, he's not going to be outskilled by Yair Rodriguez. So for Yair, it's the correct approach from him, but it kind of just cements the fact that he's a dead man walking. He seems like a dead man walking, just to cover my back. From Holloway's side, the main thing that stood out from what he's saying is that he hasn't, whilst he hasn't flat out said he doesn't want to fight Volkanovski for the title next, he's very much alluding to the fact that that's not going to happen, because he's saying like, yo, I've got other options. I could go a different route, like talking to Connor on Twitter and stuff like that. So he's alluding to it. It seems like, I hope it isn't real, because as a biased Volkanovski fan, I think he very clearly won both fights. The second fight was close. It was a very close fight, but in my eyes, Max won rounds 1 and 2, and Volkanovski won 3, 4, and 5. And for the longest time, every single moment anyone ever mentioned Volkanovski, it'll always be, Max beat you, Max beat you, Max beat you. All like that. His entire career had just been summed up by, oh, you got gifted this win, even though you beat him like a little bit ago. It was really annoying. It was very annoying. And it still is. So I really want Volkanovski to fight him a third time and beat him a third time, and then go, okay, that fight was close. Let's even say he won that fight. I still beat him 2-1. Who's the better fighter? And I mean, I don't hate Holloway, but also it's still a question mark around his career. Although people don't really want to talk bad about Holloway because he's a very likable person, he's still got 2 losses to the current champion. So it's like, how good of a fighter is he if he's not the best? In comparison to Volkanovski, how good of a fighter is he really if he's got 2 losses to him? So it's got question marks against both of their careers. I think in the longer run, that's going to be the narrative for Holloway if they never fight again. It's not going to turn into, oh, it was a close fight that he should have or could have won. It was just that, yo, was he really that good if he lost twice to the champion back to back? So it was interesting. And also on, again, my bias perspective, if you had Holloway, he's talking more about kind of like the bigger fights, the one that's going to make him more money. Yes, a fight of Max Holloway versus Conor McGregor is going to get far more pay-per-view buys. It's going to be a lot more popular. It's going to get him a lot more money. But Conor McGregor's he's not one of the best fighters in the world now. In comparison to in the UFC, he's not one of the best fighters there anymore. He hasn't shown enough to be able to do it. When was his last win? His last win was against Donald Cerrone. His last win was against Cowboy, and the one before that was Eddie Alvarez. Interesting. Interesting, let's just say that. So yeah, although that one's going to get a lot more publicity against Volkanovski 3, I'd much prefer to see the 2 best fighters in their weight class fight against 2 more popular people. Yeah. That's all I really want to say. I know, real creative. Yeah. Max Holloway to win.